Live. Instagram's been so freaking weird lately. Like after the world stopped spinning yesterday. I was trying to go live and it was trying to make me make a reel and I was like, no. And then I messed with the settings and then it was just spinning out, but it didn't give me any of the options for a live. It was just, usually it's you can title your video and all of that stuff, and it was not giving me any of those options. So I finally closed out all my whole cache, and now it looks like it's working because I see you guys getting on. So I have a nail appointment in an hour. And so I'm getting ready, and I thought that I would get on here with you guys so that we can do some skincare and have a conversation. I don't really have anything I want to talk about, so I will actually be paying attention to comments today. I don't ever pay attention to comments because I get so sidetracked and distracted with them in the middle of my lives. And that's it's the only thing I prefer about Facebook over Instagram is when you go live on Facebook, all of the comments that happen on your live are saved. And then when you're done with your live, you can go back and respond to all of that. And on Instagram, it's it vanished. Nobody's seeing what you're doing and you're starting from scratch. And it's just a pain in the butt. I'm like, what? If you're owned by the same company and Zuckerberg is the king of all, why can't we have a little bit of cohesion between the way the two apps function? That would be spectacular. Another thing that would be nice about it is if my mini chat, which is my auto response. So whenever I tell you guys comment link below, the mini chat will auto respond. So I find the links or whatever and get it all set up. And then mini chat responds to your comments and your DMs, takes care of everything for me. It's freaking incredible. Saves me a ton of time. So I'm not just sending links all day long, but it doesn't transfer to any other apps. It doesn't, Casey, you're playing Texas. I hate that song. The Texas Hold'em song by Beyonce. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm too old. I don't know. I feel tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm off the mark here. I feel when we were kids, if you were an 80s, 90s baby. I was born in 82, 42 years old. I feel we had the best music. And I know every generation says that, but hear me out. I feel we had so many different flavors of music. In the 80s, you had rock and roll, you had punk, you had R&B, you had hip hop, you had and same thing in the 90s, you had all these different genres. And then in the 90s, you had alternative, you had Nirvana, and you had Metallica, and you had Run DMC, and you had all of this music, all these different genres. And I was always one of those kids who liked a little bit of everything. I had my favorites for sure, but I would listen to almost anything. And now it's I listen to the crap that my daughter listens to, and I'm it's all the same. It's the same beat. It's the same hook. It's the same everything. It's just different lyrics. And all of the lyrics are either stupid or gross. If you ever just sit there and read the lyrics to these songs, it's did an ape that trained AI write this? There's no artistic talent involved in today's music. I think that's what my issue is. I'm a lover of piano and guitar. Give me some Carlos Santana or some Jimi Hendrix or Janis Joplin. And that's another thing. When I was a kid, I listened to my parents' music too, the stuff from the 60s and 70s that my mom and dad would listen to. And I had an appreciation for it. I still do. My daughter can't stand my music for the most part. She doesn't want anything to do with it. She's I'm playing Coldplay, and she's this is trash. And I'm no, it's not. I hate it. I hate the music today. And that's one of the hardest parts of this job is when I'm making content and I'm trying to put music to a reel, finding something that doesn't make me want to shove a Q-tip into my eardrum. It's a big struggle for me. And I do like music. I keep I'm can somebody come out with something? I think the last time I heard music that I liked was like last summer. It was the tail end of summer. It was like August. I discovered Zach Bryan, the country singer. And I was like, this is the first time in years. This is the first time in years that a singer has made me feel something. Like, I've listened to lyrics and it has stirred something in my soul. Like, there was emotion poured into it. You know what I mean? I love his music. So it's like, but I feel like artists like that now are few and far between. Like, it's all auto-tuned. It's all over-sexualized. All of it. It's just, ugh, I hate today's music. So yeah, no, I have no use for Beyonce. I have no use for Taylor Swift. And I was a Taylor Swift hater before hating Taylor Swift was popular. So don't think that I'm like jumping on the band. I'm like, I just don't like her music. I don't like her politics. I just don't care for her. Like, I have zero, I'm sorry, Swifties. I'm sorry. I do not like her. It was funny, my friend Camille loves her, and we were going back and forth the other day, and she was talking about like crazy religious people and all that stuff, and I was like, yeah, nope, that's not it for me. It was like, it's not the crazy religious stuff, it's not the rabbit holes and the like demonic Hollywood, which I absolutely believe. But like, I don't like what she stands for. I don't like what she teaches our girls. I'm like, I'm so tired of these females that like control the world, teaching our girls that like loveless relationships, not having children, pursuing a career, like that's where happiness lies. Because it's a lie. It's a lie. Happiness lies in a good marriage and building a family and having faith in something bigger than yourself. That's where happiness lies. And like so many, I feel like this generation, like this younger generation, like my daughter's generation, is starting to open their eyes to the lies that like the tail end, like the millennials and the Gen Z have been sold, you know, or like our kids are like, this doesn't seem, you don't seem like you're happy. You don't seem like YOLO is really working for you. Like, maybe I'm going to do things a little bit different. And that is definitely how I'm trying to raise my children. Like, don't do what feels good. What feels good is typically what's worst for you. like your goal in life should not be to just be happy. No, No, happiness comes from sacrificing for others. That's where true joy comes from. It's not always easy. Like, just like love. Love is not butterflies when you first start dating, and that desire to constantly be together, that's infatuation. That's lust. And it's great. It's fine. But it's not love. It's absolutely not love. Love is sacrifice. Love is willing the good of another above yourself. Love is choosing to not throat punch your husband when he really deserves it. And instead pouring into the man, because if he's acting like a jackass, there's probably a reason for it. He probably needs you to love on him versus match his energy, you know? And same goes for me. Like when I am a real pill to deal with, it's like if Shane matches that energy, man, things will spiral in my house. But if he sees it for what it is and realizes there's something I'm struggling with that I haven't shared with him, and he comes in gently and he fills my love tank, the whole vibe in our house changes. But teeny bop artists like Taylor Swift and a lot of them don't teach anybody that. And it's like, if, you know, kick him to the curb, it's all about you, blah, 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 let's self-serve. Good luck finding joy in that. You might find fleeting happiness for a minute, but you're not going to find lasting joy in living your life like that. You're going to wind up old and alone with nothing to show for your life. Like you're like, kids are our legacy. I don't understand like today's generation, like nobody wants to have kids anymore. I'm not saying kids aren't hard. Kids are hard. It's the hardest thing you'll ever do. My God. But I just can't even, it's like, what was my life? What was it before, children? Like, I don't even, what did I do? I went to the bar. I bar hopped. I slept in. You know, I was in my 20s, so I ate whatever the hell I wanted and didn't gain an ounce. Okay, yeah, it's fun, but there was no real joy in that. real joy I swear it comes in seeing your children like achieve things and watching them grow and learn and watching them like come out of struggles. That's a hard one. That's a real hard one. When your kids have like major life struggles, and they will. I mean, even if you're a helicopter parent, some things your kids you can't control your children. They're going to make choices that you wish to God that they wouldn't have. And you have no control over it. I think that's the illusion that we have as parents, is that we can control these tiny humans. And I think it begins in toddlerhood, because when they're toddlers, we can't control them, right? Like we can. That's our job, is, control your kids. They're little tiny savages. They need guidance. They need discipline. They need boundaries. They need all of that. But once they get older, like when you're talking like the teen stage, they're like little poor grown-ups who don't have a fully formed frontal cortex. Like they're like little idiots, but they're grown-ups. And it's like, you can try to control them. You can try. You're going to teach them how to be sneaky. You're going to teach them how to lie. You're going to teach them how to manipulate. And it's so hard. I think like realizing that it's like our job as parents are to guide these people. That's our job, is to guide them, to teach them, and to pray our freaking brains out, because they're going to screw up. And when they do, the older they get, the bigger the screw ups are. You know what I mean? It's like the older they get, the harder that is. When they're 6, 7 years old and they like got in trouble at school, or they like lied about stealing like a snack, or they whatever, like, okay, like we've got to teach you, we don't steal, we don't this, we don't that, blah 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 blah. But when they're older and they start sneaking around and testing boundaries and all of that, like, it's so freaking hard. It's so hard. But I would do it 1,000 times over, because like my daughter's 13, we've had some big fails, and it's like watching her overcome her like these failures that we've faced already at 13 years old, and seeing her thrive and strive and come out on top of things, drama with friends and just things like, teenage stuff. But it's like, when you're the teenager, however petty it might seem to us as grown-ups, because we're like, oh, it's not the end of the world, trust me, far worse shit can happen. You have no idea, right? To us, it's like peanuts. But to them, like, it really is the end of the world. Like when your best friend is mad at you, or somebody has a crush on your boyfriend, or you know what I mean? Like this drama that seems so ridiculous to us, it is a big deal to them. And it is the end of the world to them. And so like learning how to navigate that, or learning how to let them navigate that, and stepping back and then letting them fail and flounder, and then keeping your mouth shut when they finally do come to you. When they finally come to you and they're like, I need help, or this is wrong, or I screwed up. Not, and this is a hard one for me because it's got a big mouth, not being like, I told you so. Like, this is what you get. You reap what you sow. I warned you, you didn't listen. These are your consequences. Like, not being that person, and being a soft place to land, which my mother was a freaking pro at. God, that woman, if I can be half the mother she was when it comes to that, like, she didn't do everything perfect, but when I made the worst choices in my life, when I had my biggest heartbreaks, when it was just utter devastation, not one time did she ever point the finger or tell me I deserved it, or, if you would have only listened to me, I tried to tell you. None of that. Not a word. She didn't say anything. She was just quite literally a soft place to land. I came home crying, heartbroken, devastated. And I laid my head on her lap and I cried. And she petted my hair and didn't say a word. Just kept rocking and watching Fox News. like that was, and it's so hard. It's so hard to do that when it's your own child. And you're like, okay, grace, mercy, give them grace, give them mercy. be a soft place to land. They need you. It's like, I don't ever want my daughter to be like, my mom's gonna kill me. Like, if mom finds out that this happened, or mom finds out, like, you know, whatever, like, you know, like, I was drunk at a party, I snuck out, whatever, like, all the crap that I did, you know, like, when that time comes, if it comes, I want her to be the kid that's like, I'm drunk and I can't drive home, I've got to call my mom, and not, I'm gonna risk it all because my mom will kill me if she finds out that I did this, if she finds out, like, I do not want to be the parent that she hides things from. And it's hard because I also don't want to be the parent where it's like, she's my bestie, we're besties. I'm like, no, I'm your mother, but I want to be safe. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Anyway, got all the feelings happening today, apparently. That whole rant was about, started with Casey telling me that she's playing Beyonce for me. See, this is why I don't read comments, because I go off these tangents and I just spit out. Oh, anyway, but it's true. And this parenting gig is not an easy one, and the hardest part, and I think the part that our generation struggles with the most, because we had parents that were like, figure it out, right? You screwed up. Here's the consequences. Figure it out. Not my problem. Like, that was generally how we were raised. And so we're like, swoop in and save our kids, right? Oh, you forgot your homework? I'll be there in 5 minutes. You don't have a lunchbox? God forbid you miss one meal today. Swoop in and save them. Like, what do you mean my kid can't play and he has to sit on the bench because he's the worst batter on the team? Like, and we swoop in and we save instead of letting them fail. You learn so much more from failure than you do from winning and from being rescued. But once again, like, walking that tightrope line, because your kids also have to know that you're a safe place and that you will help them when they really need it. So it's like, where do you draw the line? Like, when do you save them and when do you let them sink? You know? And I think that's where, like, for me at least, faith really comes in. It's like, okay, Lord, I have no idea what to do. Please guide me, you know, like, do it. And then shutting up and listening to him, you know, shut up and listen to what he tells you. Cause we tend to want to, like, we ask God, right? We ask him, what do I do? Help me. And then he's like, this is what you need to do. And you're like, oh, but not that. I don't want to do it that way. Like, that's too much work. And no, can you give me another option, please, Lord? And he's like, no. And then we screw up. And I feel like it's the same way parenting. Okay, I gotta do my eyebrows. I still really, okay, so I'm using the Dominique, like, their pencil. It's the, what's it called? This is the Cool Deep Brown. I had gotten the neutral brown, I think, or medium brown. It was too light, so I don't use it. I ordered another one. It's called their Carve Brow Pencil. Anyway, it's like flat and angled, so you can get like perfect hair strokes, or you could use the broad edge and shade in. So it's like a powder brow microblade hybrid pencil. Stays on great. It's like very waxy, sort of clay texture. Anyway, you'll see me put it on here in a second. Not super impressed with their customer service. That kind of sucked. Because my other pencil that I did get rid of, I was going to use it anyway. It broke, like the makeup in here broke. And so I twisted it up and the whole shaft came out. And I was like, I paid $25 for this. I've had it for a week. I haven't dropped it. I don't know what happened. And like, no response. Like, I messaged and they were just like, la 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 la. So, I mean, I ordered another one. I looked all over to see if I could find another brand because I honestly didn't want to give them my money again after being ignored. But I couldn't find another brand that has a pencil like this. So if you know of one, shoot me the link and I'll order it and I'll let you know if it's any good. But I mean, look how nice those hair strokes go. But anyway, I mean, it works. It's a great brow pencil. I really, really like it. But once again, like I said, not impressed with the customer service. And I'm like a big customer service person. Like, you got to take care of the people that are like spending their hard-earned money with you, especially today when everything's so damn expensive and we're all broke. Like, if I'm choosing to give you $25 for a brow pencil and it snaps after 1 week and you ignore me, like, not cool. Not cool at all. Anyway, but I did give them my business again because, like I said, I couldn't find another brand that has something like this. And it's like, it's just like, how easy was that? And it looks so good. Like, so natural, so good. Like, look at that. Anyway. Let's see if anybody's talked. Oh, hi, Jacqueline. I feel like you'll really like, Catholic friend. I feel like you'll really like my stories today. They're very Catholic. If you're not Catholic, don't get offended by my stories. I'm Catholic. I believe what I believe. I'm just sharing it for the other Catholics. I'm not sharing it to piss off the Protestants, just so you know. Jacqueline, are any of your girls in the choir at church? I feel like you've got some girls in the choir. Chloe and I, before I had Max, sang in the choir together. And then I had Max, and obviously, like, I had a new baby. I couldn't be, like, in the choir. And then Shane finally started coming to church with us. So then I was like, I want to sit as a family. Like, I want to be in the choir loft, like, you know, alone. I want to sit with my husband and my daughter. Anyway, all of that to say, we wound up leaving the choir. And this was, like, before we were at St. Mary's, or Our Lady of Sorrows. This was back at in the St. Joseph days, when we were traditional nomads. Anyway, but my daughter needs Catholic friends. Like, she's got great friends. Some of her friends, but she's a public school kid. We don't homeschool. And she's got one friend who's Catholic, and it's her best friend. I'm pretty sure you know Becky Carter. Kylie is, her very best friend, but Kylie's her only Catholic friend. And I'm like, this little girl needs some more Catholic influence in her life from girls her age. Like, especially she's 13. I saw your daughter just turned 14. And I just wonder if there's some sort of organic way that we could get these girls together, because she needs some Catholic friends. So let me know if your girls are in the choir. Because I talked to Chloe and I was like, I think we should join the choir again. I miss it. And it's like, you know, Shane is going to start coming to church again. And so he could sit with Max, you know, and Chloe and I, or I could float back and forth. Chloe could sing in the choir and I could sort of do both, you know, whatever. I'm babbling now, but I was just curious because I'm like, I mean, and I don't do myself any favors because, like, when Mass is over, I run out of the building like it's on fire because I'm an introvert and I hate small talk. I can talk to thousands of people here on Instagram, but try to stop me after church and I'm like, I do myself no favors. I'm aware of the fact that I am the problem. I'm working on it. So anyway, let me know. You can shoot me a DM. In fact, I should probably just give you my phone number. DM me and I'll give you my phone number so you can text me. If you call, I won't answer. I hate talking on the phone. There's a few ladies at church that I'm friends with who are phone talkers. And I'm just like, could you just text me? Like, I hate talking on the phone. Just text me or send me a voice message. Like, it's so funny how that's changed. All right, so this is all the Piper Blue makeup. I haven't really talked about what I'm putting on my face, but it's the Piper Blue. A lot of you asked if the Piper Blue fits in the Saint compacts. It does. It's a tight squeeze. Like, you really got to kind of jam them in there. There's like a millimeter too big. So you can get it in there, but you got to kind of force it in there. And I like to have them spaced out. So I've got, like, I'm using a Saint palette right now, but I've got my foundations there and then my bronzer, contour, and blush there. And it that works just fine for me. But you can fully load a Saint compact with Piper Blue makeup if that's what you want to do. I was going to say something else about it. I don't remember though. Whatever. It's fine. I don't remember. But I'm still loving the Piper Blue makeup. I am so thankful. Like, I feel like God finally plunked it down in my lap. It's like my 40 years wandering through the desert. Like, and he was like, okay, here, you can do makeup again. Like, your heart is in the right place. You're done wandering social media. Like, here's some makeup to share with your followers. I'm going to do a bold red lip because that's the easiest way for me to do like a whole face. I love my red lipstick. It's the Stay Stunting by NYX. It's like $8 at Ulta. This is like a long wear lipstick, like a lip gloss. It goes on glossy, but then it dries. And then it's got a gloss on the bottom. And that keeps it from feeling like you want to chew your face off. So, and I don't like it to be a super heavy application. So I usually do that. And then that. And I have like a minimal amount on the brush. So I wipe a lot of it off. And then I try to just sort of glide it on. And then I use my finger. And that seems to work pretty good for me. Because now, like, the middle's already drying. So if I press my lips, it's going to mess it up. So kind of do the middle and then do the sides. And it gives me a decent application. But it's not too heavy. There we go. There we go. All right, so it's a bold red, but I don't have it on super thick. I'll let it dry just a little bit. And then the gloss is magical. It also works with City Lips, the plumping gloss, but the City Lips will sort of break down the red a little bit. So I use this first, and then I'll put my City Lips on when I get in the car, and then I'll have the red and the plumping going on. I've got to do my hair, so I'm going to end this live, but we've got a full face of makeup on. I'll show you what it looks like in actual window light, because that's always the giveaway. It's just so natural and pretty, and it wears so well. It wears all day long. And it's affordable, and it's convenient, and it's all the things that I was looking for. So anyway, I'm going to end this live. Thanks for listening to me rant about all the things. I'm just laying all my cards on the table. Like, if you're offended, you can get glad in the same pants you got mad in. That's my whole attitude now. It's like, this is me. Take it or leave it. All right. I love you guys. Have the best day. I'm going to do my hair. I'm going to go get my nails done. I'll talk to you later. Love you. Bye.